Minimalism is a very broad topic, and one thing that many people forget to think about when they organize their space and their world is the thing that they bring with them all the time, which is their handbag. So today I'm going to share with you what my version of a minimalist handbag setup looks like, and let's dive in. Hello, and a warm welcome back to Simple Essentials. If you are new here, my name is Emmy, and in this channel we talk about simplifying your life in as many ways as possible. You'll find a lot of content here around meal planning, budgeting, organizing your space, organizing your thoughts. And today I'm going to talk about a handy little space that a lot of people forget about, which is the handbag. Now, if you don't use a handbag at all, obviously skip over this video, but if you have a handbag of some type and you use it regularly, you may want to keep watching today. So I'm going to show you what I keep in my handbag to keep it sort of as minimal as possible. And so first up, before we look at the content, I wanted to show you the bag itself. So this is I have medium-sized hands. This is a reasonably decent sized bag that I use pretty much every day. I actually bought this very bag. You're going to see it in my secondhand shopping video that's coming up. I actually bought this bag at an op shop. It's a real leather bag for $1 here in Australia. So this is the bag that I use most days, and you will see that it's black, and you will see that there's a theme because I keep things very minimal and very easy to mix and match with other things. Now, back in the day when we used to be in the office a lot more, I did used to use this bag, and I still have it. It's one of my all-time favorites. It is from K, I believe. I don't know if that brand exists where you live, but it's a really good bag. It's a good quality leather bag. I bought it for myself as a bit of a treat, and it's got lots of room for laptops and all sorts of things like that. Now, it has been with me for a while, so it is worn and very loved. And when things go back to a bit more normal here in Australia and we start going to the office again, I will probably be using this bag a lot more. But all the stuff that you're going to see in what I have in my handbag, other than my laptop and perhaps a water bottle, would just be transferred in like a minute over to this bag for the days that I would be using it. I also have a third bag, believe it or not, a minimalist with 3 handbags. I have this little tiny clutch which I use for, it's from Kate Hill, not a fancy brand or anything. It's got a couple of pockets inside it, and it's got a strap that you can take off if you don't really want to have a shoulder strap. But this one is really great for if I need to dress up a little bit or I want to have something sort of a bit more fancy. And again, you'll see most of the stuff in my bigger handbag, except from perhaps my sunglasses, would just transfer into this one when I need it. So that's the setup that I have. Naturally, if you love pops of color and things like that, have as many bags or as many colors as you like. I do find for me personally that black is a really simple thing to match with pretty much any outfit. I used to have a handbag of about this size that I've actually just gotten rid of that was sort of a dark green that also matched quite a lot of things. But just think about that when you're choosing your bag or your bags. Have a really clear purpose for them. And for me personally, I never really keep more than 3 bags because the 3 that I showed you is pretty much all I'm ever gonna need. Alright, so this here, like I showed you before, is my day-to-day bag, and it's got one outside pocket. I'll show you what's in there in a second. It's got a main compartment, and in here I've got 2 sort of littler pockets and one that has a zip on it here as well. So I'll show you that in a second. But one thing that I always make sure to have super handy is a grocery bag. So I'm a big fan in reducing plastic wherever we can, and this tiny little bag is really easy. It's just from Woolworths here in Australia. So I always have that in my handbag because I use it several times a week when I go shopping and haven't planned for it or something. And obviously with the current pandemic, I have a little bottle of hand sanitizer as well. So that's pretty much everything that I put in the outside pocket. Sometimes I'll put some tissues or any other things that I need handy access to, but not too worried about the safety. In my main compartment, you'll see that it's far from full. This is about half full at the moment. So I can actually easily fit a small umbrella or a water bottle plus all the things that I've got in here already. So I'm pretty happy with it. So this is my ideal day-to-day handbag size. So in here I've got my sunglass case, which you can see it's quite big. It's summer here in Australia at the moment, so you kind of need that. I've got my phone. I've got my keys. And for those of you who've watched the channel for a while, you'll know that my cat Freya looks a bit like this. A friend of mine, thank you cat, found this adorable keychain, so that's what I have my keys on. My teeny tiny wallet, and I will show you a little bit more in a second about my system for my wallet, because it's possible to have a tiny wallet if you want to. I know some people carry around like ginormous ones. So that's basically everything that's in the main pocket of my bag. In the two little side ones, I've got headphones, because every now and then I do leave the house and I will listen to a podcast or something. And in the other side pocket, I have a couple of keys that I use a bit less often. So I've got my bike lock key, I've got the spare car key, because believe it or not, I actually don't drive all that often. We live very close to a shop and things like that. So that goes in the other little pouch in there. And then in this zippy pocket here, I keep a couple of things that I find super duper handy. I always have a pen in my bag. This is great for traveling. It's great for all sorts of things. I remember when I had to take my very first COVID test, you had to have a pen with you to fill in. So it's just nice to have one with you. Nothing fancy. Then I've got this little handy thing. This is basically a fold-out hairbrush with a little mirror in it. And it's got a little heart on it. And I just got this from like a dollar shop years ago. It's super lightweight and it's really handy to have with you if you need to. Lip balm with some sunscreen in it. This is a little pack of fresh mints that I got at an expo I went to. Sometimes just got a little, you flip the corner off and then you open the thing. So that's just some mints in there. And the final thing that I have in this magic Narnia bag is this little pouch here. I'm a very big believer in compartmentalizing things. And in this one, I have what you can call a survival kit. I've got some feminine hygiene products. I've got some Band-Aids. I've got a wet wipe, Panadol, hair tie. And I think from memory, I even have a little sewing kit in here. But it's really nice because it keeps it really contained. And when I'm moving between bags, I've got the other two here in the background, so if I'm moving between bags and I feel like I need to bring this little kit, I'll just chuck it in whichever bag that I'm using. So it's kind of handy that way. It means that I can very, very easily move everything across in a matter of a minute or so. And because I have them in different compartments in the bag, I know that in this zippy pocket here, the things I just showed you, they will always be in there. So if I need to find my Panadol quickly or something like that, I know exactly where it is. Same thing goes for my headphones, which always go in this little pocket here. And it means that they're not like tangling around in the bag and being all annoying. But of course, whatever bag situation and setup that you have, it's important that it works for you. Okay, let's talk about wallets. I find that there's like two kind of camps with wallets, especially nowadays when you can have a lot of things on your phone as well. A lot of people use their phone to pay with and stuff like that. I actually still use good old-fashioned credit cards, but it's something to be really mindful of what you prefer. So for ages, I had one of those large wallets with lots and lots of cards in them. And I found this in a little shop. I think we were in Croatia or something, so we were out traveling. I'd been on the lookout for this for a while. And it's not hard to find wallets of this size, but it's hard to find them with a coin pocket or coin purse. So this is a decent, I think this is actually real leather. It says Picard, if you are curious to try it out. It says Picard, Germany. Anyway, I didn't buy this for the brand. I bought it for the size because I really love it. And it's very, very simple. I've got room in here for cash. I have a business card for my business. If you are curious, I am actually a career coach. That's my line of work. So I'll leave a link below to my career coaching website if you're curious. But in this little pocket here, I've got my company credit card and my business card. In the other pocket here inside where the money is, I have my travel card and my driver's license that I use for public transport. Not the driver's license, obviously, the travel card. On this side, I have our joint credit card and my personal credit card, and underneath the little coin pocket, I have my 2 healthcare cards. And that's all that I carry with me. And then you're like, but Emmy, you like budgeting, you like you know, other cards. Where do you keep all your discount cards and things like that? In my phone. I'm going to show you one of my favorite apps, and hats off to my lovely partner Paul who got me onto this. But I use an app called Stocard, S-T-O-C-A-R-D. And all that it does, you open up the app in your phone, sorry it's a bit glary, and you can literally download all the memberships that you have. So for example, my Woolworths card is my grocery store discount card, my travel cards, other things like that. And what it does is it allows you to scan your physical plastic card that you might have. I think it even works with library cards as well, actually. So anything that's got a barcode or a membership number on it, you can either scan it or manually put it in. And this means that I only need this little space and I still have access to all my discounts, all my special promos. Now, it doesn't obviously work for gift cards and things like that. I think you actually need to bring the physical gift card with you as a security thing. But that's a handy tip if you have a giant wallet and you find that you need a giant handbag for the giant wallet. This is, I absolutely love it. I've had this for about 2.5 years and I hope it's got a few more years of life in it. Now, that is just my personal setup. I don't have children, so I don't need to track like a bigger bag with me. I don't need nappies or anything like that. However, I did used to work as a nanny many years ago, almost 20 years ago now. And that little emergency kit that you saw me have in my handbag, that idea was actually born from dealing with kids a lot and, you know, needing to have certain medications or wet wipes and things like that. So I used to have a much bigger version of this little pouch when I worked as a nanny. But it was really handy because it helped me realize as well that there are some things that you need to have with you and some things that you only need at times. So for example, I don't need a bottle of water or an umbrella every single time I leave the house, but it's really handy that I can easily fit it into my bag. This also, by the way, really well fits an A5 notebook and or my Kindle, because quite often if I'm taking the train or the bus to go see a friend, quite often I want to bring my Kindle so I can read while I'm traveling. So pick a bag and pick a setup that works for you, but you'd be surprised at how little you actually need to have with you. And the biggest thing I see people do is that they have very, very large wallets. Obviously, if you pay everything with cash, this tiny little, I think I've only got $5 in there. Might be fun actually for the viewers over in the States to see how fun plastic money we have here in Australia. But if you pay a lot of things by cash, then this particular compartment might not be big enough for your preferences. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching my little setup. I would love to hear your tips around how you organize your handbag if you do have one, or if you don't have one, why don't you have one? Did you give up on it? Does it not work for you anymore? And last but not least, I would love to have you as a subscriber here if you haven't already subscribed. Like I said in my last video, I will start posting weekly here, and it's all the more fun for sharing it with you, and especially if you want to join me as a subscriber. All the best, and I look forward to see you next week in another video.